Okay, thanks for checking in on another video here. And this one is a little bit different. I'm actually trying out my new overhead tabletop review type scene here. So I do have my desk that I always use for product photography and all kinds of YouTube content and, creator videos. But kind of setting up something a little bit new with the overhead top down studio shots with the A7C Mark II that is actually filming this video today. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about my new studio setup. What we are here to talk about is what I feel is probably a very underrated piece of camera gear. And not necessarily camera gear, but the way that I use it is for my camera gear. And it's just an invaluable tool, an invaluable piece of equipment. And as you could probably tell, because it is the center of attention here, no, it's not the SL2S, it is these power banks. Now, full disclosure, this company here, I think it's INU, INIU. They had reached out to me through, I believe it was Instagram. It may have been my email, and just said, hey, would you like to take a look at the chargers? We like your content, and we'd like to see if you would be interested in checking out the battery bank. So in full disclosure, I did not purchase these battery banks, but as you well know from watching any of my content, that never sways my bias one way or another when I talk about equipment. If it wasn't something that I liked or used, then I would simply probably refuse it, or I would just send it back to the company and say, not for nothing, it's not for me, it doesn't work well, and I really don't want to put out something to my viewership that I really can't support. So now, as you could probably tell from that statement, since we are making this video, that I am a fan. I use power banks all the time, and I use them in a certain way, probably like most people, to charge their phone, right? It does it very quickly. And I'll get into some of the specs. I'm not a real big specs guy. I'm more of a real usage kind of reviewer. I like to talk about how I use gear and why I use gear. Anybody can go on the website. Anybody can find this information. And that really doesn't tell you much other than a bunch of numbers that maybe you're kind of looking for to see if it fits your application. But I'm more concerned with, how these items function, how this gear functions. And as you can see, I do have it surrounded by a few different items. I have an iPad Pro over here. I have a Ricoh GR3X. I have a couple Leica SLs. And I do have this Hasselblad XD Mark II. And I'm really happy to have this up here because this is a big one for me. So right off, there are two chargers here, and I could be a little bit off on my history because the company is new to me. But first, we have the power bank here. This is a larger power bank. Now, this is if I'm reading it correct, this is the BI or B63PD. Now, this is a 100-watt power bank, okay, and it is 25,000 milliamps. So this is a big capacity battery. It also is a little larger. As you can see, it is, the size of my hand. It is a little thicker. And it does have a nice LCD readout. As you can see right here on the screen, it does show you when it is charging with a little, green lightning bolt and whatnot. And you can see, your ports right here at the top. I'll bring that in a little closer so you guys can check that out. And you'll notice that there are some indicators right here on the top. So, with your USB-A, it's 18 watt. This is an out port. This is an in and out 100 watts. And this is an out, your second output at 45 watts. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean wattage wise. What you're looking at here on the back, and, you can find these specs. I'm not really going to I don't know if it'll even focus out, but you'll see all this writing up here. And this is going to kind of tell you if you're using more than one device, more than one port, the combination of wattage that you're going to get. So, excuse me, my eyes are really, really bad. So I got to kind of lean out a little bit. But if I could read this to you real quick, this is the BIB63 from INU. Battery capacity, 25,000 milliamps, like I said, 92.5 watt hours. And there's all these different combinations in 5 volt, 3 amp, 9 volt, 3 amp, 12 amp, or 12 volt, 3 amp, 15 volt, 3 amp, 20 volt, 3.25 amp at 65 watt max. And you're going to see, your outs, and it's going to give you all the specs there. And it's going to tell you now, if you're using a combination of the out number 1 and the out number 2, you're going to have 65 watts max on that first out, and you're going to have 45 watts on the second one max. So again, if you're doing out number 1 and out number 3, it's 65, and now you're 18. So it's going to tell you that chart going through. So if you really need to see where you're at on that, it's it's easily indicated. It's got a really nice matte finish. It's got some nice subdued lettering right here. Real nice large LCD screen. Very simple, just telling you where you're at. And this one particularly is kind of cool because it has this little clip that comes out the side right here. And I don't have my phone. Well, actually I do have my phone that's behind me here. That is kind of a cool little feature, and I'll kind of show this a little better with some B-roll, but that allows you to kind of hold your phone this way. If you were to kind of use your phone you could use this as a tripod. So let's just say you're on the airplane or something like that, and you need something to kind of hold your phone while you're flying and battery backup. So you can kind of see there, it does just clip on, and it gives you that little slice there that you can kind of put your phone in. It snaps right back in, and you're good to go. Then we move on to this battery here, and it's the same battery, but just a little smaller. Still a 100 watt battery. Now this is, again, 25,000 milliamps as well. So yeah, it's the same thing. This is the P63 E1 PD. So I think this is their newer design. I could be wrong, but you can see basically the difference here. The width is the same. They are heavier. I mean, it's a 25 milliamp battery, 100 watts. I mean, anything that you're going to get is going to be about this weight, but it's the same fit and finish. You do not have that iPhone, cell phone, kind of tripod there. But your battery bank, if I can look at this real quick off the bat, it looks like out 45. So yeah, everything's going to be about the same. So it's just really giving you a smaller footprint than the larger one. And like I said, I believe this is their newer design. And again, how do I use these? I use them all the time to charge my cell phones. I use them to charge my battery on my iPad Pro all the time when I'm on vacation and whatnot. I find it, very useful. I always have this in my bag. I always have a battery bank in my bag. And this has become the new standard for me to kind of have that in my bag. So, with some of this new technology and some of your cameras like the GR3X and even the Ricoh GR3, the normal one, and even your Leica SLs, they are all USB-C. Battery chargers, especially for Leica, can be very expensive. Batteries start mounting up when you start buying multiple batteries. This is a really good way that if you need to charge one of your cameras while you're on vacation, and let's just say you have a break and you're shooting, and you're not shooting that much, you're on, you're having lunch or you're at a cafe and having coffee. Fun fact about me, I do not drink coffee. So I know that that's not the norm for photographers, but you could be charging your battery while you're sitting at a cafe, and you can see right here, this one isn't fully charged, 60%. And you can see right now, I am charging my Ricoh GR3. I'm getting the max power that this battery has because I'm only using one port. Now I can elect to use the other 3 or the other 2 and have 3 going at once. If I needed to charge more than one device, I wanted to charge this and my iPad, I can definitely do that. It will give me enough juice to do that. But fun little fact, and the reason why I am a big supporter of battery banks and using battery banks is because when you start rolling into camera systems, let me just put this aside real quick. When you start rolling into camera systems that similar to like a SL2 or even a Hasselblad. Now, again, I'm only speaking from my experience. I'm not I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the applications of a battery bank and assume that you're stupid. You guys, have been more than around the block to understand how battery banks work. But the way that I use them is, this battery right here specifically, similar to the SL2, that push button style battery that you get on these cameras, these are very, very expensive batteries. Now, I bought this battery used for $80. Now, new, well over $100. You start getting into cameras like the SL2, SL2S, whatever it may be, you're looking at even worse, $170 to maybe over $200 if you're getting the newer ones. And if you can find one used, good luck, pick it up. These camera batteries get very expensive. So while it may be nice to have numerous batteries for backing up, your day and prolonging your shooting throughout the day, sometimes that isn't economically feasible. So if you were to get something like a battery bank, and for instance, on my last video, which I will link above, I can't do this because I'm not used to top-down videos. I'm doing this because I think you're looking at me and you're not. You're looking down. Up at the top of the screen, I will link the video. I used my Hasselblad X1D Mark II in Walt Disney World, and I only had one battery at the time. And while it is a great system and it does, not suck too much battery power down if you use it the correct way and shut off the camera, I didn't want to have that anxiety of thinking that I was going to run out of battery juice throughout my trip. And now, I'm missing moments because, stupid me or cheap me did not buy an extra battery. So as weird as this may look, now I did not use this cable. I actually used a longer cable, but just to kind of show you for reference, what I did is I had this battery bank in a crossbody shoulder bag, or even you could use a hip pack or even just your regular backpack. And I had a longer cable. And I talked about this in my video. And what I ended up doing was while I was shooting, that's the card slots. While I was shooting, I actually had this plugged in. Okay. And what you'll notice is you can see the light was blinking. There it is. It's charging. And you can see right there, we are charging the camera and we are charging the battery. And what I ended up doing is using this as almost like a power tether. So this was all the way around in my bag, and I was shooting with the camera and the battery plugged in on the USB-C. And you can see right there, the little charge. It is showing right now that it is charging. In fact, it is, all the operation is, ready. It is working just fine with the camera system, and it is not a problem. And you can take your photos. I don't have a card in here right now, but just to give you that kind of example of how I did it. And, to tell you the truth, it was really great, and it charges fast. I went from about 30% to about 80%. And that only took me, I think it charged that in about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. It went up that much. So then I was able to disconnect the battery and continue throughout my day. Or to be honest with you, towards the end of the night, I just left it plugged in. It didn't really bother me. And like I said, I had this kind of strapped off to the bag. You may feel a little silly doing it, but whatever, it works just fine. And like I said, just to show you, what we're dealing with here. I mean, this, can I plug it in over here? I'll plug it in on this side for my iPad. Right there, we're plugged in, and you can see right now, battery has just shown on the iPad. It is charging. Everything's good to go on that. And there you go. I think it is just a really invaluable piece of equipment that people, and especially photographers, sometimes I feel like they overlook. They'll be so quick to pack another lens, to pack another battery, to pack, all this gear, but, something that's going to prolong your shooting and just give you that sense of freedom and that feeling, taking that anxiety away from you while you're out and about on a trip, or away from, somewhere maybe you can plug in, to have battery banks. And specifically, this company here, I think it's just a no-brainer. I think it's a really good idea. You can see your power buttons right here on the side. kind of just show you a little bit about the banks here and where they are, your indicators. Like I said, flat on this side, really nothing showing on that side. And then again, you do have your battery bank information right there on the bottom, and you're set to go. Now, it does come, obviously, here's the box. I did open it up. There is a 3-year warranty, so I think that's a big seller. When you have a company that's going to back up with a warranty, it just gives you that peace of mind when you're buying it. So you do have a 3-year warranty on that battery bank. There is service and support right here at the bottom. They actually give you they give you the email. So, you know, and again, there's so many companies, right? We all deal with them. We buy enough gear that sometimes you have to go fishing through the website to find a contact info if you do have a problem. They're telling you, here you go, right here, support at INUI Shop. Okay, right there, your Instagram, all your socials. They are a company that is out there. They are making a footprint, and you know, it's a really nice thing. They do come with some protective sleeves. So again, if you don't want to bang it around, I don't really care about this too much. These are tools to me. I don't care about keeping my battery, you know, super spiffy without scratches. Mine has a bunch of scratches and fingerprints on it because I do use it. But if you're one of those people that like your stuff nice, which I can certainly understand, you do have a little drawstring bag there. And it's like a padded type bag. It does have like a little bit of a foam type feel to it. You know, I have that. And, you know, here's the larger one for this bag, for this battery bank. And again, I'm sorry if I come off a little bit rushed or unpolished. You guys know this by now, coming to my website. If you are a viewer of mine, I hope you are. And if not, please like and subscribe. I do not script my videos. I just feel, I don't know why I keep saying this after all these years on YouTube. I just feel like I have to kind of put that out there because I feel like so many YouTube content creators are just so rehearsed, and I don't consider myself a YouTube content creator. I consider myself an artist and a photographer first. That you know, I am a photographer and an artist that makes YouTube videos because I do like gear. I do like to talk about gear, and I like to pass on any information that has come my way, whether it be techniques, the way I do things, and the gear that I use and what I like and do not like about it. And like I said, if it's on my channel, I fully support it and I use it and I like it. So that's why you're seeing it here. And like I said, I am unscripted, and I just feel like that is important nowadays. I don't want to ever come off to anybody watching my videos like I'm trying to peddle some kind of gear for a kickback. I don't have a link for you as far as like an affiliate link that if you buy this, I'm going to make any money, but there are links below just to help you navigate to this product a little quicker than going to search for it online. I will have that for you. But like I said, a really great tool, often overlooked, very important, can help you out in a jam if you really need to. And these have enough power to pretty much power anything you want. I can power my, you know, my MacBook Pro. I just bought a brand new MacBook. I can power that thing with this. I can power my iPad. I can power all my cameras, recharge all my batteries on my cameras if I want to, hook up a battery charger if I want to and not charge through the phone, charge my drone, my DJI Pro 3, Mavic Pro 3. I can charge this while on while in the car going from shoot to shoot, or, you know, I do a lot of real estate photography, a lot of drone photography. And, you know, those batteries suck down pretty quick. You do one shoot, you know, even though it's 45-minute battery, 50-minute battery, you know, they go down. If you have 2 or 3 houses in a day, like, you can really grind through those batteries. So it's nice to know that you can back 1 or 2 up with a battery bank in your car. And, you know, you don't have to have your car running to, you know, charge the battery. So these are also great on weddings. I use these battery banks all the time at weddings to be able to power a battery charger, to just give myself that peace of mind of having another battery or 2 ready to go. God forbid something runs a little long or you're asked to shoot a little extra or whatnot. And it's nice to have that, especially some venues. I've run into this where they don't want you messing with any of their electricity. They don't want you plugging into a wall. It's few and far between, but it has happened where, you know, the wedding venue kind of looks at you a little sideways when you start plugging in cameras. They want you to move your gear. You can't store it here. It's just stuff that as a working professional photographer, I'm sure most of you have run into on your own, adventures out there in the world of photography. So, again, you can use the USB-A or you could use USB-C. It gives you options for both. Obviously, you're going to get more power running a single USB-C on that 100 watt. But like I said, if you don't need to do that, and you don't have that cable, or you just need, whatever your application takes USB-A, it is there for you as well on both of these. I don't want to make this too long. It's a battery bank. We don't need to go crazy on it. I've shown you kind of what I do and how I do it. I do use them all the time, and I think they are a very valuable tool, and I will see you on the next one. I hope you guys like my top-down video rig here. This is a new kind of adventure for me to kind of do these top downs. I've done some in the past, but this is, like I said, kind of a new system. I don't know if I had a polarizer on this, or did I have a polarizer on it? Yeah, I did. I had the Polar Pro. That's probably moving around a little bit, and a little zoom action for you. All right, guys, I'm being silly now. Oh, I'm wobbling the camera. Like I said, unscripted. That's the way I roll. See you guys on the next one. Peace. Thanks.